What's up, my savages? Today we are looking at the Looksmaxing latest victims, or should I say expert. But the question I want to ask you, are these people taking this too far? Let's watch and find out. Here we go. Hey, I recognize those two knobheads. Oh, it's gonna be painful to watch.
So, the wig incident. Tell me about it. What happened?
That night that I decided to stream, I fully acknowledged, yeah, it is definitely a possibility that someone snatches my hat because they had the past two streams. And I was like, you know what?
Right off the bat, wearing a wig. Wow. Would you guys wear a wig?
If that happens, I think it could be an extremely viral clip. And I was correct.
Androgenic and Nocturnal Kent, Australia's fastest ascending Looksmaxers. To them, appearances do mean everything.
It is a dark truth that shows the unfairness of the world. And I'm here to say, you should take accountability for your deficits, and you do have agency in life.
At 25 and 21 years old, real names Ronan and Kent, they've been swept up in the Looksmaxing hype. The movement started on internet forums around the late 2010s, but found a mainstream audience in just the last few months. It's a mantra that preaches your entire life is predetermined by looks and looks alone. They preach body...
I'm so... Very hard to take them seriously. They don't even look that good. If there's any women watching, do you think he looks good or they just look pathetic?
Modifications to make themselves more attractive. Their audience, mainly young males.
And it teaches and reinforces something called the black pill, which is the belief that looks determine how you are treated in the world.
To reach this peak, the methods used can be extreme, ranging from simple things like skincare routines and good gym habits to surgeries like height modifications or nose jobs, to smoking meth to
nose jobs. Well, it looks like his nose is still
stay skinny, or peptide usage, recently receiving a warning from Australia.
To be fair, women have been doing this for a long time. I think it's just that it's catching up on the men's side.
This Therapeutic Goods Administration.
When they're not done properly, whether it's the method of injection or the way how you're administering them, it can potentially cause some serious harm, including infection, sepsis.
A unique method is called bone.
Oh, there he is, the king of all assholes, smashing himself on the face. Seriously, what the fuck happened to humanity? I miss the good old days.
Smashing to alter the shape of the skull.
Normally you brace your head because you don't want to give yourself a concussion. The force won't, but you still want to go light.
If at some point in your life you got to the point where you need to smack yourself in the face just to grow your cheekbones, bro, you have a mental problem.
And you just do that for about a few minutes each day on the parts of your face where you want the bone to respond and adapt and grow bigger. There's cases of people who've been like kicked in the face by a horse at 40 years old and their cheekbone gets enormous because the body will adapt.
The results allegedly don't lie.
There's just something, they look off. Not only they look off physically, but they look...
They've transformed from this...
Alright, let's take a look. They just look like a couple normal kids.
...to this in just a few...
Wow, they went from normal looking kids to absolute wankers.
...few years. To them being physically ugly.
The fuck happened there? Did he smash himself in the face too hard? And this looks fake. Looks so fake. And again, to be fair, this is like pre-puberty and then post-puberty, which like you will grow anyhow.
Is a massive barrier to success. How you're treated by others impacts every other aspect of your life, even when it comes to things like intelligence and grades at school.
But what goes on in a teacher's mind is subconsciously how friendly you might look. An ugly person just looks less friendly, looks more mean, looks like they could be a bully.
Wait. I do agree that nature promotes and encourages better looking people because it's a sign of good development and health. Period. That's just nature's rule, right? This is why, you know, if you look in monkeys, they all go for the silverback, right? Because he's the strongest, most developed, most healthy. But technically, the good looking ones are the bully, not the ugly one. The good looking ones are bullying the ones that did not develop properly. Have you noticed that at school, it's always the weird, the fat, the small looking ones that get bullied? There's no coincidence there. It's just that instinctively, intuitively we don't like poorly developed unhealthy humans. That's just a fact, whether you want it or not. I am not encouraging or glorifying bullying in any way. I think it's terrible, but it's just a fact of reality in this nature.
I have typical bias that would just give them a bad grade. A good example of this is Elon Musk. He's extremely successful, but 3 years ago he was really obese and there were pictures of him looking pretty ugly on a boat. And then he lost the weight, he fixed his hair, he looks a lot better now, and people just in general feel better about him. They like him more. He still looks a bit
Does he? Based on what? He doesn't sound too smart, does he?
chopped though, like, surely. I wouldn't call him chopped. I mean, there's probably work to be done, but he's doing an amazing job.
Yves St. James Aquino is a philosopher at the University of Wollongong. He's written a thesis about the philosophy of ugliness and why we believe it's something needing to be fixed. He explains that pretty privilege is a real thing.
People who are more attractive or society deemed more attractive are considered to be more upright, morally upright, more successful, and more trustworthy.
But he says that doesn't justify Looksmax's methods.
What Looksmaxers forget is that attractiveness has different dimensions. Physical
True.
beauty is just one of them. If you think about what makes some people attractive, often it's about character, it's about personality. Sometimes it's the tone of voice, the way people dress, where they live, the way they interact with other people.
That's all true, but above all, it is your development. And yes, if you're past like 20 years old, there's not much you can do about that. You can softmax on certain things and you can dress better. Your passion, your interests, the way you carry yourself, your intelligence, your contribution.
Maxers are adamant this is not driven by insecurity, rather a desire to improve their life, in the same way that someone gets a job or studies to make themselves better. For Kent, his entry into Looksmaxing started at around 40.
I mean, I get what he's going for look-wise, like leather jacket, white t-shirt, black hair. He looks like he's out of Greece, you know, like 70s style. But him, what is that fit? Like a wig, a cap, a loosely fitted polo with black. Bro, get your fit in order, bro.
14 years old.
I was extremely ugly. I was obese and I had acne. And much like most people, it was comparison. I would look at my peers who were a lot more handsome than I were. They would get more friends. They would just have more success. They could get a job super easy as well. I think I looked normal, but obviously to everyone around me, I looked like some albino, obese sort of loser.
At the same time though, you know, you're 14, like you're going through puberty. No one looks good when they're 14. Why did you think that that was something wrong with you at that stage?
It was something wrong with me because there is a threshold of how much junk food you eat, how much exercise you do if you play sport as a kid. I was neglecting those behaviors.
Did you play sport as a kid?
I definitely attempted to play sport a lot. I found it was very hard because I wasn't accepted into the typical like groups of people who'd play rugby or something because I just looked like a nerd. And even the coaches at my school, they would look at me and be like, oh, it's not really for you, mate.
How has it
Poorly developed.
changed your life, this whole Looksmaxing thing?
I can't take him seriously. He just... What do you guys think?
Well, it's interesting because within the first year of me really locking in on Looksmaxing, I saw an immense improvement in like how I was respected amongst peers, getting interest from other women, and year by year, it's pretty much just scaled upward more and more.
The sheer eyeballs on their operation is enormous. Social media numbers are continuing to grow, but it's difficult to figure out which of their fans take it seriously and which are there to laugh at them.
Definitely laugh at them.
He put the wig back on, bro. I told you guys.
Androgenics' rise in this world has been stratospheric, associating with the figureheads of the movement, such as the American-based clavicular
Well, he's getting mugged.
or having so-called mog wars in the same country.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
There's an fucking trap. Is this a joke? Is this a meme? Like,
It does look like a fucking joke.
are you committing to a bit or is it real?
Depends on what part of it. because for virality, you have to play into a certain meme or character, but that doesn't mean that what I stand for in terms of overall optimization is a meme or a joke.
You might not fly all the way to Thailand for a rhinoplasty if you were just playing a character.
It feels like anything I do gets thrown into the spotlight, and honestly, I'm not complaining, because that's the nature of how social media works. You become some kind of rising controversial figure where, you know, you can't lift a finger without the media covering you.
This is the
A figure, bro.
second coming of Looksmaxing. Aziz Shavashayan, known as Ziz, was a Sydney-born bodybuilder active in the late 2010s. Ziz
Fucking Ziz, man. I think it's time that we bury this fucking guy for good.
pushed a similar sort of message.
At the end of the day, the only thing that matters in life is having a tan.
But the hype
Fucking loser.
was cut short.
The guy died of a heart attack at 22 years old. Fucking overdosing on drugs.
Ziz died of a heart attack in a Thailand sauna at just 22 years old. An autopsy found a pre-existing heart condition, but it's long been speculated the excessive steroid use didn't help.
I think a lot of people getting into the space that we are in were heavily inspired by Ziz. Myself, probably a little bit less.
Losers inspired by losers.
I was extremely
Pathetic.
influenced by Ziz. You know, as a young Australian, he was an Australian as well. He was really one of the first people to perpetuate the whole, it's never over, you can look better and your life improves.
Are you worried for your own health?
Not necessarily. He is an outlier exception who had a genetic condition, and that was combined.
Sure. Doesn't clavicular blast meth in order to stay skinny? The fuck? What's the difference?
With extremely reckless usage, and I don't believe either of those variables applied to me.
Australia recently brought in a ban on social media for kids under 16 years old. For Kent and Androgenic, that wouldn't matter. They say their biggest clientele is between 25 and 35 years old, but it is gaining influence with teenagers and young adults.
I think obviously a lot of young people follow it because there are a lot of young people in the sphere on social media who are worried about looking better, but it's not really who
You didn't change your life, you just changed your appearance. You did nothing else.
I prefer to target as my audience.
I have a threshold where if I have a 14-year-old message me, I just tell them, hey man, like get out of this community. You should focus on the gym, focus on getting good grades and being social with friends.
No, if you're 14, you should focus on proper human nutrition so that you develop properly. Not the gym and some fucking grades.
School.
And the movement is not without criticism.
Show your ugly face on stream, you bitch.
Mate.
Show your ugly face on stream.
Mate, don't say that.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Show your ugly face on stream.
Mate.
Wow, what an example for humanity. I told you they were the bullies.
Associations with the far right in America and the controversial Andrew Tate
Fuck these people.
has provided fears it's leading young boys and men into the manosphere, an online community promoting hypermasculinity and misogyny.
Look, with any community, there's going to be extremes, and Looksmaxing's obviously not indifferent to that.
Politically, I'm completely apolitical. I really just take the meta stance, which is that I think politics are a waste of my time.
That's the most sensible thing you said in the entire video.
Because the more I focus on them, they're still not going to make no tangible difference to my life. Because I can't change the rules of society.
Mr. Aquino says modern politics and life are what's directly influencing this movement. Neglected and upset young males may be wanting control in a world they feel is leaving them behind.
A lot of things that are happening in our lives at the moment, it feels disheartening, it feels frustrating, and the idea that beauty, attractiveness, and your body is malleable, I think that's what attracts people.
The ideas of body modification is nothing new, historically normalized for women.
So now, I think parents should be aware that it's not just with their daughters that they need to speak to, they might need to speak to their sons as well about unrealistic standards of beauty. What's interesting about my research on medicalizing ugliness, the strategy to say that unattractive features can be quote-unquote corrected and then that will solve the problem. But what it reveals really is that there are underlying issues when it comes to people having issues with their physical appearance. When people resort to things like looksmaxing or extreme cosmetic procedure or extreme body modification, it might be easy for people to laugh at them and say, oh, that's ridiculous. What are people doing now? What are young people
Just the way they walk, man. It's pathetic.
doing now? I think it's easy for people to do that, but we do have to reflect what are the experiences that people have that led them to this kind of behavior.
However, it is impressive to reach this frame. It's not as easy as it looks.
What are my physical flaws and how can I Looksmax?
Actually, this guy's mugging both of them. Of course, if you get casted for TV news, the chances are you'll be pretty good looking. Don't get me wrong, society has been using good looking people to influence the masses since the beginning of time.
Well, like you, I used to wear glasses, so I would say if you traded your glasses for a pair of contacts, people would see those eyes a lot better. You've got amazing lashes, you want to show them off to people. I'd also suggest to grow your hair out. Like, your skin's amazing, you look like a fit, healthy young man. Some longer hair might give a bit more appeal, just because, you know, if you look at statistics, short hair versus longer hair performs better.
Blast steroids.
Blast steroids. Wow, we end on some words of wisdom, don't we? Fuck me. All right, well, that was pretty concerning. I want to know your opinion, guys. Do you think Looksmaxing is being pushed too far? Do you think that any of it is valuable? And I'm curious to know, do any of you use any Looksmaxing practices? And if so, which ones? Please comment down below. Well, in my opinion, this is just absolute fucking nonsense. I'm not against like taking care of your appearance and everything, but smashing yourself in the face, it's just ridiculous. I think there are much better things for you to spend your time on and focus your energy on in life. And even look out there. I know some of the ugliest motherfuckers that are the happiest I've ever seen. You don't need to be super good looking to find a partner and build a family and have children and just feel amazing and be happy instead of just chasing meaningless looks that might get you laid a few more times, but what is that gonna change? So once again, my friend, stay true to your own values. Focus on the fundamentals and you will feel amazing. I'll see you in the next one.